Bones, no. Betrayal, sacrilege, abuse of sacred trust. Horror, pain, blood, shame, sorrow, despair, loss. The weight of another body pressing down a wedge inserted that tears this body apart. Pain, shock, a tightening constriction around this neck. Fear, thrashing, kicking, other arms pinning these arms. Pain, 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 scream, 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 scream. Blackness descending. Nothing. Charlie was confused. After he'd gone home and had a bowl of Apple Jacks, he'd set his phone alarm for 2 hours and had fallen into a welcoming blackness of sleep. Feeling slightly more human after a quick shower, he'd been bracing himself for the inevitable gauntlet of jibes and none too subtle comments that awaited him at the station after his absence of 2 days. Schooling his face to an expression of calm indifference, he opened the doors and walked in. There was an instant where the normal noise level of a police station in a busy metropolitan area was nearly too loud, suddenly dropping to an almost quiet as the doors closed behind him. He frowned and nodded to the clerk at the front desk, who smiled at him and then seemed very focused on the computer screen. Besides some, "Hey there, how's it going? How you doing?" comments offered as he wound his way around workstations and printers, no one said anything to him. It was weird, not normal. He did not like not normal. Determined to find out what the heck was going on, Charlie went to Detective Lucero's office first, but found the door closed and locked. Without any kind of sign on the door, Charlie figured the war room was the most likely place to find anyone. For a moment, he thought the war room too was empty, apart from 2 officers huddled over stacks of reports from the hotline, but then he saw his partner peering intently at a monitor in the middle of the room, fingers poised above the keyboard as he concentrated on whatever he was looking at. Charlie coughed as he entered the room, watching as 3 heads jerked up to peer at him in temporary confusion before 2 of the 3 men settled back to their previous task. "Well, look who's here. Welcome back, stranger." "Thanks," Charlie said. "Glad to be back, trust me. Where's Lucero?" "He's briefing McConnell on the second protocol. Thorne worked up a new test for that whatchamacallit thing of your friend." "What? Already? There's no way Elise can do another test now. Are you kidding me?" "Hey, calm down already. Geez, it isn't scheduled until next week." "Oh. Well, that's okay then, I guess," Charlie says. "You're sure protective of that girl," Farley mentions. "Anything you want to share with your partner?" Charlie could hear the sarcasm in Farley's voice when he said friend and partner. Trying to hide his annoyance, Charlie just scowled and shook his head. Nothing to share. Days spent in a black room sitting in a kitchen chair, making sure someone didn't choke in their sleep or have convulsions from a concussion. "Ooh, sounds like fun." Charlie nodded. "Exactly. Glad to be back. Can I see the protocol?" "I think Lucero's getting McConnell's official nod," Farley says. "Everyone is meeting in the large conference room for another briefing at 1500 hours. Charlie glanced at his watch. It was already 14:05 p.m. He had a little less than an hour to get caught up before the briefing. He was sure Lucero would want him to brief everyone on the past 2 days. Not his favorite thing to do when he'd had no more than 2 hours sleep in the past 24 hours. "I guess I better write up my report. They'll want that for the briefing, I'm sure." "Yep," Farley nodded. "Lucero mentioned that as well. I was just waiting to tell you until you'd had a chance to catch a couple breaths." "I appreciate that." Charlie mentions, "What's with everyone being so nice and polite? Lucero put the fear of God in them or what?" Farley laughed. "McConnell more like. Gave us all a mini lecture to not tease you about helping Miss Campbell." "Really? That's interesting." "I think the test really shook him up. He watched the video like 6 times in a row. Just kept hitting replay over and over. He didn't ask anyone what we thought or had happened, just sat right here in the middle of this monitor for about 2 hours watching it." Farley drifted off. Charlie thought he shouldn't be surprised at this point. Nothing about this case was normal or ordinary. It had stopped being anything like that when Elise had walked through the door of the downtown main station. He shook his head and slapped his partner on the back. Well, thanks for holding down the fort. Appreciate it. Charlie nodded. Sure, no problem. You probably better get back and started on that report. Yep. Charlie sighed and went to the workstation he'd been using since they'd moved to here. No one liked writing up reports. It was one of those things you just did because it was what you had to do. Faster done, faster won, he thought as he pulled up a blank report template and started filling in the fields. At least they didn't have to type reports with carbon paper anymore. I remembered finally to take my phone off of Do Not Disturb status. I'd had 2 more missed calls from Bob with 2 very short voicemail messages that only said, "Call me!" I glanced at the screen now, watching the caller ID icon with Bob's avatar bouncing up and down, inviting me to swipe up and answer the call. I almost ignored it, but decided I'd better get it over with. I connected and put the call on speaker, pushing myself up to an almost sitting position. "Hey there. How's it going?" I said. "Where the hell have you been, Elise? What the hell is going on?" My heart started knocking around in my chest. I hated confrontations. Arguments over the phone were the worst. I tried to take a breath, but my chest had already tightened and I could feel the beginning of a panic attack starting. No way, I thought to myself, silently breathing and breathing and breathing. "Hello? Are you there?" I sighed. "Yep, I'm here, just dealing with a migraine." "Come on, Elise, you aren't dealing with a migraine. I called and called you. 3 days, trying to get a hold of you. Where the hell have you been? Some police officer kept answering your phone, gave me his name and badge number, said you'd been injured at the police station. Why were you at the police station? Did you check to see if he was legit?" A moment's silence, then, "Yeah, I called. He checked out." "So why was a police station officer sleeping in your house and answering your phone for 3 days?" "Did you ask him that?" "Oh yeah, I asked him that all right." "And what did he say?" "I told you. He said you'd hurt yourself at the police station, supposedly helping them with some investigation." "Supposedly? You think he was lying to you? Why do you think I would be at a police station?" "I have no idea," Bob barked. "That's why I'm asking you. What were you doing there?" Bob was seriously starting to piss me off. This was the same man who separated from his wife and was sleeping with me, while still married, with kids. And yes, I realized that I was equally at fault when measuring culpability in the situation, but I wasn't married. "Are you even concerned that I was hurt, that I was in the hospital?" I couldn't help but ask. "Of course I was," Bob barks. "I am. I sent you flowers, didn't I?" I recalled the spray of hothouse bulbs, a standard get well soon florist card stuck in the plastic folder. The only signature, a heart and a bead. "Right, of course, I saw those. Very pretty. So it's no big deal, really. Just like the police said I was there helping with an investigation. I fell and I hit my head. Had a minor concussion, they tell me, on top of a level 10 migraine. They tried to keep me in the hospital, but I made them let me go. Officer Wilkins, the police officer who answered my phone, was here helping the Dr. Adams monitor my condition from home. It was the only way the hospital would release me. I have a knot the size of Kentucky on the back of my head, and I am still trying to recover from both a migraine and a concussion combined. Yelling at me is not helping. I need to get back to sleep now. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I just need to rest." "Wait! You still haven't answered my question, damn it. Why were you there? What investigation are you helping with? Are you some kind of witness to a bank robbery or something?" I sighed. "Goodbye, Bob. I'll talk to you tomorrow." "No, Elise, damn it. If you won't talk to me now, I don't want to talk to you later." I blinked and glanced at the phone. Like, for how long do you not want to talk to me? "What?" "If I don't talk to you now," I asked, "how long will you not want to talk to me? How long is later?" I heard an exasperated sigh. Then, "I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't understand any of this. What's going on with you, Elise?" "I'm going to sleep now, Bob. If you don't care about my physical well-being, that's fine. If you don't ever want to talk to me again, that's fine too. Everything's fine. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'm going to sleep now. Call me tomorrow if you want to talk. Love you. Good night. I disconnected the call and shut the phone off completely. I should have known better than to have answered that call.